Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, what we're going to talk about this morning on this episode of Bullet Points is exactly what we designed the bullet points to do. We're going to look at the underlying themes, the trends, and the things that are popping up across the media relating to the Second Amendment. In this case, something extremely positive that Joe Rogan did on his show. Now, he's calling out all the Hollywood elites, not only hypocrisy, but also hypocrisy around the Second Amendment and guns. Now, this is important, and this is one of the reasons that Joe Rogan is so popular and so likable, is because he approaches things from a real perspective. You can tell he's a genuine, real person, which is, in my opinion, the key to his success. But that's where we're going to break down his take on the Second Amendment in Hollywood. This is something you are going to want to send out, because this right here encapsulates everything, at least in my opinion, perfectly. Everything will be linked in the description box below per usual. I'm going to say a quick word from our sponsor this week that brought you these videos, Arms Directory, and then we're going to hit it, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think. Now, Arms Directory is a two-way friendly social network and marketplace of ideas. With social media at large censoring a majority of our freedom, Arms Directory is a safe harbor of freedom for us all in the 2A movement. They are the only 2A protected social network out there, and while you're there, feel free to post freedom pics, blog posts in the industry, find local events, and more. Check it out in the description box below to find out a little bit more about Arms Directory, and also follow me over there because I also have an account, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you so much to Arms Directory for making the videos this week possible, but let's get it. Let's get to Joe Rogan. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think on this one. Joe Rogan slams Hollywood hypocrisy. Anti-gun, but they promote guns more than any other media on the planet. Podcaster Joe Rogan and comedian Tim Dillon called out Hollywood elites for being anti-gun, yet making films where everyone bad gets killed by guns. So right off the bat, just from that headline, you can tell this is going down the same road we talk about a lot around the hypocrisy around firearms. Politicians, Hollywood elites, anybody who think they're more important than the other people out there in the world, they have their own private security. You can't have handguns. They despise handguns, but they can make millions off them in movies. They play on our culture, they play on our fabric of our nation, but when it comes to their political views, no, those are bad. The hypocrisy is raging, and everyone knows it. But for Joe Rogan to make a little segment on one of the most popular podcasts available, which makes more views and makes more impressions than CNN and the mainstream media altogether, that's something. But let's get into this. Podcaster Joe Rogan of the Joe Rogan Experience called out Hollywood on Friday for being anti-gun yet glorifying guns in films. Hypocrisy. Rogan spoke with comedian Tim Dillon about Hollywood's hypocrisy on firearms during a recent episode of his podcast. Quote, "Isn't it effing wild that Hollywood in general is very anti-gun, but they promote guns more than any other media on the planet?" Rogan asked. And we're getting a little bit of nuance in communication. The way that he poses questions and he asks questions that everyone knows the answers to is the key to his success on his show. Isn't it weird that they vilify guns, but they support guns in all their movies? It's such a simple question, and that's an incredibly powerful communication technique, but I digress. Let's keep going. He elaborated, saying, quote, "All their best movies, whether it's The Gray Man or whether you're watching The Terminal List or Mission Impossible, it's all guns save the day. Guns kill aliens. Guns kill werewolves. Guns kill everyone. Everyone bad gets killed by guns." He's dead on. And I'm not saying that that's bad to be in those movies. However, if you're going to make millions in your entire name and your career, and all these companies, these Hollywood elites, all of these production film companies, all of which are liberal, are going to come out and tell you that you can't have firearms, but they're going to make their entire industry around them, a little bit of hypocrisy. Just like politicians being protected by security with guns, but you can't. Same thing. This hypocrisy is powerful to call out, and that's why I'm covering it, because it's blatant and everyone knows it. Rogan then paraphrased the Hollywood mindset when commenting on politics in real life, adding, quote, "But guns are bad and you shouldn't have guns." It's crazy. It is crazy. And that, in my personal opinion, is why you're seeing such a shift to the right on the gun rights side of the movement. You've got constitutional carry in 50% of states now. You have gun rights growing at an exponential rate. Minorities, women, people who've never bought guns before, first-time gun buyers. You're talking about a seismic shift in the landscape of the Second Amendment, and I think this has a big part to play in it. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments field. But now let's get to the producer, this comedian, Tim Dillon, because he goes scorched earth. Dillon responded by calling out wealthy Hollywood elites for numerous political hypocrisies, saying, quote, well, these are the same people that live in $20,000 or 20,000 square foot homes and fly private jets, but talk endlessly about climate change. The same people. No comment. Dillon warned that Hollywood elites then, quote, develop this cognitive dissonance where you see yourself as something completely different than what other people see you, and your behavior as something that's completely different. That's a pretty good summation, and this is going out and disseminated across the entire population. This is important. Dillon continued hammering his point, arguing, quote, but that's literally the way they think. Quote, guns are not good, but in our hands, they're great because we can craft a narrative that makes them justified to have. It's good for me, it's not good for you. I am responsible. You are a plebeian, and you can't be held responsible for your rights. This is a core tenet of the Democratic Party. Cradle to grave. We'll take care of you. You have no reason for your Second Amendment rights because we got you, boo. Oh, are you an elitist? Oh, are you a far leftist? Oh, are you a gun-controlling Hollywood elite? You can have a gun in protection, but all those plebeians down there, the poor masses, they can't have those. All of this tying together paints quite a picture, doesn't it? And the last thing, and then I'll let you go about your Tuesday. He then pivoted, suggesting that real-world examples of people using firearms to protect themselves are disregarded. Quote, and that woman that lives in her house who protected herself against an intruder? Yeah, that's not Mission Impossible, Dillon warned. So that's how crazy they are. This is a pretty on-point segment. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you tonight at the 9 p.m. segment. I'm Braden. See you later.